I wanted to do a video all about C-sections because there might be some of you out there that are about to have a C-section, or maybe you're afraid of having C-section, or maybe you're excited to have a C-section and you just want to know more about it. I originally did not want to have a C-section. I was planning on doing the whole natural birth, but after 36 hours of labor and my daughter absolutely not wanting to come out at all, no progression, I decided it was the best thing for me and my family. At first I was really bummed about it, but I realized with time it was the best thing for us. And I wanted to do this video to kind of share my story, but also to help you guys out. Before your C-section, you're gonna get an epidural or a spinal tap, which is when they insert a needle into your back. It's really not as scary as it sounds, but it was very painful for me because I was going through incredible crazy contractions while they were doing it. But your contractions may not be that bad, so maybe you won't have the same problem that I had. It doesn't take very long to do. They quickly put it in, so it doesn't hurt that long. It's just a little pinch, and that's pretty much all you really feel. My advice to you is once you become numb, make sure you're not positioned on one side of your body, because I did that and my butt was numb for like 6 days, because I guess once they had numbed me, you don't feel anything from the waist down, so I guess I sort of tilted my body in a certain way that made the right side of my butt cheek very much more tender than the left side. So be careful of that, and they will warn you about that just to let you know of what might happen. The side effects of the drug that they give you right before you're about to have a C-section may cause you to do things that you've never done before. For me, it was uncontrollable shaking. Like almost the shaking that I get sometimes when I'm like about to perform or something on stage and I'm like in crazy nervous. But it was like my jaw was shaking too. I was like, and I felt like an idiot. I look back on the videos now and I can't even tell that I was shaking, but I definitely was. And they told me that it was just a side effect of the drug and that it would go away, and that it was also very common. Some women get paranoid. Some women get just totally drugged out and they're just like zoning out in space. But for me, it was definitely shakiness. It's a very quick procedure, surgery. Once you enter in, they basically take like 5 minutes. You're gonna feel some tugging at your stomach, and you're gonna feel them kind of messing around with things and pulling things around. But you're not gonna feel any pain. There's someone mowing grass outside. I didn't even know that Eden was coming out when she was coming out, but my surgeon was awesome. He was like updating me the entire time. He was like, now we're cutting you, now we're trying to get her, oh she's stuck, oh she's gonna have a bruise on her head, she's stuck in between your pelvis or whatever. And he was like updating me the entire time. But I didn't even know she was coming out until they told me that she was, and then I heard this like whoosh water sound, and that's when I heard her cry for the first time, and I realized that they had finally taken her out. It was way faster than I thought it was going to be, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be either. I really literally felt nothing except for like when you're put to sleep and someone's like tapping on it before it like starts to wake up. But that feeling of when it's numb, that's what it feels like. I mean, you don't feel anything. I feel really bad for our moms and our grandmas back in the day who had C-sections and they were knocked out beforehand and then they woke up being able to cuddle their baby. Like, to me, that would be traumatic. I was so blessed with the fact, and I think most women are these days, you can be awake and aware during your procedure. I mean, you're drugged out, but you still know what's going on, and you're able to hold your baby immediately afterwards. Right after she was born, they took me to the recovery room, and that's where they were able to lay her on my chest, and she was hungry right away. But it was really good having that bonding time with her, you know, since I wasn't able to experience the vaginal birth I'd always desired and I always wanted. It was nice to be able to have that moment with her. It was really special to me. You know, doctors tell women once you have a C-section, you can't give birth vaginally ever, and you're gonna have to have another C-section, but that's not always true. There are many women who give birth right after a C-section. They give birth naturally. As far as me, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I may just plan another C-section, or I may give birth naturally. It's hard when you go through something like I did where you were planning on it and you had your heart set on natural birth and then things went wrong. But you gotta understand and realize that giving birth is an incredible thing in itself. And it's a crazy experience. I mean, your body goes from being skinny to having a baby to getting rid of a baby and then going back towards normal size. And the whole concept of just, you know, of being pregnant and everything, it's incredible. Don't be hard on yourself if your birth plan doesn't happen the way you want it to. And no, it's hard, but you know, giving birth is amazing in itself, and you're a super woman just for what you did. Whether you gave birth naturally with no drugs, maybe you gave birth vaginally with drugs, or you had a C-section, you're still amazing. As far as recovery goes, recovery is a little tough. Just make sure that you walk around, you know, a day after your incision, or maybe even the first day, you know, right after your surgery. Make sure you're walking around and you're active, because some women experience a lot of gas, you know, if they're, because they get air blocked in there once they sew you up. So make sure you're just walking around. They told me I was able to leave 2 days after I had my surgery. So I was healing really well. But that's because I was walking around, I was making sure I was getting up, and I wasn't just being lazy on the bed, because that's very easy to do when you're in pain. Another tip I have for you is to make sure that your baby sleeps next to you. You may be against co-sleeping, but I think it's a great thing, especially when you're in the hospital and you just had a C-section. It's not fun to keep getting up and in and out of bed. It hurts. You can't laugh. You can't chuckle. Like anything that requires your abs, which you don't even realize how many things require your abs until you have a C-section. But it's hard to do anything. So try to make it easy on yourself and sleep with your baby. And like I said, you can't laugh. People say you can put a pillow on your stomach and laugh, but I tried that and it still wouldn't help. And my dad made me crack up one time during the hospital, and I was just like, ha ha ha, ow, 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 hee hee, ow, 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 ow. Yeah, recovery is tough. Make sure you're not driving, especially if you're on medication, okay? There's too many women who get in accidents because they're on medication. You need to be recovering. And that doesn't mean, you know, just sit around and do nothing, but that means to definitely take it easy. Listen to your doctor, listen to your husband, listen to your mom or your family members, whoever, and let people help you out, okay? Don't try to do everything on your own. It might be weird for you to see your incision right afterwards. It was for me. I looked at my incision 2 days after and I started crying. It was just something weird about it. To me, I almost felt like my body was violated. I know that makes no sense because I was giving birth to her, and so it's like a mark of my birth, you know, it's kind of a reminder. But in the moment, because it didn't go the way I planned it, it almost felt like my body was violated, and that, you know, I was forced to have a C-section. Now, I look at it, I'm like, it's really not that big of a deal. It's a small incision, way smaller than I thought it was going to be. And a lot of women get C-sections, so I understand that. But you may be disappointed at first. You may be sad at first to look at your incision. That will change with time. You know, you don't really see it that often, honestly, unless you're like walk around the house naked all the time or something. It's not noticeable. Don't be hard on yourself. And let me know if there's any questions you have about having a C-section that I didn't cover here, and I will answer you back as quickly as I can. I have a heart for all you C-section mamas. People don't give you guys credit very often because they think that you took the easy way out, when in reality, most of the time, C-section mamas are the ones that labored for long periods of time and got no outcome out of it. So I have great respect for you guys, and I totally know where you're coming from. And yeah, I hope I covered everything for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.